When my little girls were young, I decided to take them to a circus. Now, many of you know, when you go to a little circus, especially in a small town where we were going to see the circus, you can see anything, right? But I never forget, I saw this giant elephant. I'm talking about anywhere from, I'm guessing now, 3 to 5 tons. I mean, really big elephant. But what fascinated me was this elephant had a rope tied around his ankle. Now, I'm very aware of the story. Many of you might be aware of the story as well, as how elephants get conditioned. How in the world can an elephant, something that can carry over 120 plus people on its back, an elephant that has over literally 60,000 muscles in its trunk alone. We as human beings only have 600. An elephant that can move cars over, pull up a big top. And how in the world does this elephant feel like it was stuck with a rope around its ankle? Now, I'm not talking about a chain connected to, concrete. I am talking about a flimsy little rope with a stake knocked into the dirt. I mean, if the elephant moved wrong, the stake falls over. Yet the elephant sat there as if it could not move. Now, we're familiar with the story. I heard it before, but I want to verify it, right? Sounds great for a motivational message, but I actually went to the elephant trainer and I asked it a question, just getting background, and he confirmed everything. He confirmed that, yes, when they're young, when they're baby elephants, we actually use chain and concrete. And because they try to yank on it and can't break free, they just have to go through the conditioning process. And conditioning is simply anything that's repetitious and it gives either negative or positive feedback. Now, keep in mind, conditioning itself is not bad, but it conditions you to a certain direction. So the goal with the elephant was to condition it to such a degree that as long as it just felt something on its ankle, it believed it couldn't break it. Now, I was fascinated by it, but I then decided to go back to the elephant trainer and ask him a specific question. I was like, I understand how this works. I understand how powerful this elephant is. I get all that. But I do got a question for you. He says, what's that? I said, my question is, what do you worry about? What's your fear in training an elephant this big? He said that one day the elephant will realize just how strong it is. Now, I use that analogy for us because the bottom line is we have so much more strength. When you look at an elephant tied to the ground by a rope with the stake tapped in the dirt, you go, that makes absolutely no sense. But I want you to be just as upset as you look at the strengths and talents and gifts that you have, that people around you have. And we have these flimsy ropes called self-imposed limitations. We have these flimsy ropes called other people's expectations. We even have fears that don't even belong to us, that get in the way of us taking advantage of the opportunities that are in front of us. In business, I tell leaders quite often, I say, you have a tendency to believe you are leading the people who are right in front of you. I'm like, no. You're leading the people in front of you and all the people who's influenced them in the past. So you're dealing with all that stuff. So you're wondering, why is it so hard for people to take chances? Because they've been conditioned over time. This has nothing to do with talent. This has nothing to do with ability. It has everything to do with their self-imposed belief.